Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mrinal Pandey. I did my bachelor's in biotechnology back in India and I was much more inclined to learn about molecular and cellular biology. So then I applied for this master's course in Ludwig Maximilian Universität, which stands for LMU, and I did my thesis in Technical University of Munich, which stands for TUM. And today I'm going to talk about how masters in biotechnology in Germany looks like. Are you thinking about studying biotechnology in Germany where there is low tuition fees and world-class research and strong job opportunities? And this all sounds perfect, right? But what are the actual requirements, and can you really study for free, and are the public universities really the best option available in Germany? So in this video I'm going to try to break down everything which you should know if you want to study masters in Germany, and it's going to be the 2026 and 2027 guide. So let's go. Before starting the video, I just want to make one thing clear. Why actually study biotech in Germany? Like, what's the point? The thing is, Germany serves as the global leader for biotech, pharma, and life sciences, and it serves as the home to the major companies like Bayer or Roche or even BioNTech. And it has strong research ecosystem and strong industry collaboration. That is super important if you are graduated and then looking for a job, right? And the next point is it has major English taught program for masters. And obviously the famous point which everyone knows, that public universities has no tuition fees or are almost free. So which are the best universities or colleges you should apply for in 2026 and 2027 if you want to study masters in biotechnology? One university for sure would be Ludwig Maximilian Universität or LMU, and I'm saying this because I did my masters there. I studied molecular and cellular biology, and what I observed there was a lot of practical courses, lot of practical knowledge, lot of hands-on training, working in labs, working in industry, and even strong alumni network. So I think all of this is very important when you are just a master's student, right? And one of the thing I really observed there was the whole master's course was very flexible. For example, the subjects that we choose or the lectures we are doing, the practicals we are doing. So this whole thing we had to choose and we had to then make a semester on. I'm going to give more details on this in the next video where I talk about how I got accepted into LMU. So I'm going to give all the details about the admission process, how it looks like, interview, everything. Now coming back to this, LMU is going to be one of the, I would say, the favorite spot of mine, where you can like apply for a masters in biotechnology. Second would be TUM or Technical University of Munich. Then third would be RWTH Aachen, then University of Freiburg, University of Stuttgart, then Heidelberg University. So these are all the main universities which offer the biotechnology courses. I would really love if you guys would check all of these universities out. Go to their university website, check out their courses, and get to know more about how the course in general is structured. And I would give you one more tip is that check out the DARD website for more course listing. Now let's talk about the application. What do you need to apply for masters in biotechnology in Germany? These are the few things which I would really love to highlight on. First thing is you need to have your completed bachelor's degree, if not then provisional certificate, then IELTS certificates or TOEFL certificate to prove that you have sufficient English proficiency, and the band would be around 6.5 to 7, something like that. Depends upon the university for that. Then the next thing would be the GRE or the GMAT course, depending upon what course you're applying for. And then obviously the main thing is your motivation letter or the SOP, and then your CV. And another important thing would be your reference letters, which you usually get from your supervisors. I would really recommend you here is to get a reference letter from a person who already has a PhD. That would matter a lot than someone who does not have. And usually depend upon the course you're applying for, but usually you need A2 level of German language. So when I was applying for LMU back in 2021, they didn't need any German language specifically because the whole course was designed in English. But now the scenario is quite different, especially when highly competitive applications are coming in for masters. So I would really recommend you to have at least basic level of German knowledge, let's say A2 or B1 at least when you're applying. Then this basically helps you to like send in a more competitive application, which can like basically help you to get selected. So the next point would be fees and the cost of living. In back in 2021 when I was studying in LMU, I was paying around 80 to 150 euros per semester, depending upon what semester I was in. Then 120 euros was for the semester ticket, which allowed me like a free kind of transportation 24/7 in Munich. So for that I was paying 120 euros. And for rent I was paying around 280 euros per month, which is extremely quite cheap if you're living in a student dorm. And apart from that I had this health insurance of 120 to 150 euros, and the SIM card, it was around I think 5 to 7 euros in total. Obviously the groceries was, let's say, around 100. So the overall cost which I had in 2021 was up to, I would say, 600 euros max. But now the situation is quite different in 2026. So in 2026, the situation is quite different. The majority of your money goes in paying rent. For example, if you're living in a student dorm, the minimum cost starts from 300 to 350, and it goes till 500 depending upon what type of student dorm are you living in. Is it shared? Do you have your private bathroom, or do you have a common bathroom, common kitchen, and stuff like that? And another thing is, if you're not living in a student dorm, then the cost would vary. It would go up to 600 euros, 800 also. So it depends. The next thing would be the health insurance, the groceries, and everything. So right now in 2026, the minimum cost would be 800 euros per month. That is for sure if you're living in Munich. If you're living in, let's say, in some village area, or maybe far away from city, then maybe it would go to 700 max. But 800 euros per month is the basic cost of living in Munich in 2026. It starts from 800, I would say. So the next thing I would really love to point out is, like, in public universities, people say like you have free tuition fees, there is like nothing to pay, but there's always a small semester fee which you have to pay. Please remember that. And if you're studying in private universities, then it starts from 5,000 to 10,000 euros a year. And what I have heard is like, if you want to study in TUM, then it's like 3,000 euros for per semester. So it goes like 6,000 euros for a year. So it is quite expensive, but if you have the financial means, then obviously the education is pretty great, let it be public or private, it doesn't matter. So overall, summing up, if you're living in a student dorm and including all the costs, that is your groceries, health insurance, let's say your miscellaneous thing, or let's say your radio tax or your lifestyle, it would go to 800 per month. And if living a lavish life, then I would say it would go to 1,000 to 1,500 euros a month. So let's talk about the job opportunities after graduation in biotechnology. So you do your masters, you graduate, and after that you can work in pharmaceutical companies, you can work in biotech companies, you can work in startups, you can work in university labs, you can maybe let's say work in some already established lab facility. There are a lot of ample of opportunities which are out there. It depends upon what skill set you have, how much you love hands-on training, how much you love to work in a lab, and how much dedication, motivation you have, plus your prior experience. I don't know if anyone has told you this yet, but biotechnology doesn't always mean working in a lab, or holding a pipette in your hand and then standing for 10 hours. If people are passionate about research, do it. Obviously it's good, it's an amazing job to do. You can start off as a technical assistant, you can start off as a biological technical assistant, you can move to research associate position, go to research associate, then senior research associate, then junior scientist, then mid-level scientist, and then senior scientist. So this is usually the corporate ladder that you have. But biotechnology doesn't always mean that you need or you must work in a lab. There are different careers in biotechnology which you can follow. If you don't like working in a lab, there can be quality assurance, there can be regulatory affairs. If you have let's say a degree in law, and if you have a, let's say, basis of biotechnology in your life, then you can go into patenting. Let's say if you really love to work with patients but you love the documentation side, go into the clinical research, check out a clinical research position. There's so many ample of opportunities. You have clinical trial assistant, you have clinical research associate roles. There is so much of job opportunities out there. You just need to step up your game, give out that competitive applications, and then make sure that you're also preparing for the interview as well. And all of this is very important. I'm going to make a special video on this just to describe the job market in biotechnology and how it is right now in 2026 and 2027. And if you have any other suggestions, or if you want me to make another video on something, just comment down below, I will answer that as well. Then the top employers include the Merck and the Boehringer Ingelheim. I've also seen some positions out there for Roche as well. A lot of startups on LinkedIn, on Glassdoor, lot of platforms like Zing as well. If you have, I don't know if you have heard it, but you can search for jobs there as well in Germany. Let's talk about the salary. How much salary do you earn after graduating your masters? So if you are going to start as at a technical level assistant position, then the salary would start with a range of 45,000, and it would then go up to 60,000 euros a year. But if you, let's say, if you're switching the field, if you're going to clinical research, if you're going to quality assurance or something like that, then the salary starts from 50,000 and it goes to 70 to 80,000 when you have some level of experience. So the next point is, let's talk about the visa situation. How is it here? So when you're applying for master in Germany, you usually apply for a student visa. You come here to Germany legally on a student visa basis, and once you are done with your graduation, you apply for this job seeker visa, which gives you a period of 18 months to search for a job, and until you get a job you stay on this visa. After that, once you get a job, and depending upon the salary level and some other requirements on that visa, you can either apply for a blue card, which allows you to work up to, like, let's say minimum of 4 years, and or else you can apply for a work permit depending upon if you have, let's say, contract basis job. So work permit and blue card is your options after graduating and after getting a job. So the next point is the challenges you usually face as a student in Germany. The first thing always going to be the language barrier, because the thing is, once you, let's say, go for buying groceries, or let's say into a supermarket, everything is going to be German. The vegetables that you know, the signs that they have for everything, it's in German. You need to always use your translator in your hand. If you go into, let's say, some body care shop like DM or something, everything is going to be in German. The bottles that, like, everything is written on it, everything is in German there as well. Then the next thing is, let's say you go to bus stop, or let's say even railway stations. The thing is, like, all the signboards there are in German, and if you want to, let's say, ask someone like, okay, do you know how to go to the central station, or do you know how to go to the airport, or do you know, let's say, if you landed on the airport and you need to, like, go to your house, then the route there, if you want to ask someone at the service desk, or let's say to the people, then you need to know German there as well. How would you navigate if you don't know their language, right? So it's very important to at least know basic level of German, where you can at least ask questions like, do you know, let's say, where is this railway station, or do you know how can I catch the bus, or do you know how can I, let's say, change my bus stop and then catch another bus, or do you know when this bus is leaving. It's always easier for them if you speak in German, then they can actually explain you clearly. And in case if you think like, okay, they're speaking too fast, you can, like, tell them to, like, please at least, slow down, and then, let's say, put their points clearly. The next challenging thing is competitive applications. Now, back in 2021, when I was applying to LMU, I had this interview during the selection, like, rounds thing. And in the interview, they told me that for this molecular and cellular biology course, specifically for masters, they received 5,000 applications, and it was a time where ATS system was not there, the applicant tracking system. Now imagine a person who has to read 5,000 SOPs, 5,000 CVs, and then shortlist among it. The team is big, but still 5,000 applications is a lot, right? And right now the scenario has changed. Now all of the there's so many Indians who are applying to Germany, which means that there are going to be a lot of competitive applications out there. So your job is to send in the most competitive application, and how to do that, I'm going to make another video on that. The next challenging thing and the last one is finding accommodation. I will be extremely truthful here. Finding accommodation is really a pain, because if you go to Berlin, the accommodation thing in Berlin is really worse, because people are actually living in on streets there. In Munich, the situation is not like that of Berlin yet, but it still takes a lot of time to just find a house to live in, because the people who are coming into Munich, there are a lot of students out there. There are people who just come for internships in Munich and then they go back. There's so many housing problems right now, and currently the landlords, they are renting their rooms, they charge a hefty price. For example, as I said before, if you're living in student dorm, then it's fine, you pay 300 to 400 euros. But if you're not, if you're living in a shared apartment, or if you're living in a private apartment, the landlord charges minimum of 700 to 800 euros. So that is like literally hefty amount of fees you need to pay if you want to live in Munich. And now the final tips. This is going to be the last part of the video. Apply early. If you are going to apply for winter semester, start applying in December to March. That is a perfect period if you're applying for winter semester. If you're applying for summer semester, then please start around September or something like that. Then learn German, that is extremely important. Tailor your SOP, tailor your CV when you're applying for masters. It depends upon university you're applying for. Please tailor all the applications. Use the DARD and the university website only, just to avoid the scams. This is very important. So yeah, Germany is one of the best destinations for biotechnology. It's affordable, it's research driven, and full of opportunities. And if you have found this helpful, please do give it a like, share it with your friends, and also comment down if you have any suggestions or feedbacks on what I should make my videos on more. So please do comment on that, and I would make sure that I'll reply to all of them. And in my next video, I am planning to like answer your questions, so I'm going to make like a answering your questions video, which will come out soon as well. And I really hope that you found all of this information extremely informative, and I hope you wrote everything down with the book and pen in your hand. And if you like this video, then yeah, do share, subscribe, and have a nice day. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao ciao.